I know you as like the tall guy lifter, right? Mostly from like reading and following you for a long time. And funny enough, one of my first clients here in South Florida, when I first came across you, right? I'm fanboying about you right now, is a big 6'5" Australian guy. And became one of my best friends. Was like the officiant in my officiator of my wedding, but like crazy long femurs. Like him and I would sit on a bench together, and we would be at the same height, but then stand him up, and so like squatting, all these things. So I say that I know in the online world, in the writing world, you've got a niche, and obviously you're a big tall guy, so helping people better understand how to work around those things, and that leads to leverage. But tell me, do you have that type of niche, let's say in person with clients, because of those things, because of you and your stature, like clients come to you for that type of stuff? And the only reason I ask too, because I like the idea of people tapping into just their personal superpowers, right? Like we're given certain things, you're given like this tall stature in life, and figuring out how to leverage that in your own personal brand and how you approach training. So can you speak to that for a second?
Yeah, but I would say that there's a small contingent of clientele who definitely contacted me based on exactly that stuff. They see the weekly Tall Guy Tuesday posts that I make, and they're like, you know what, this
Yeah.
resonates with me. I want to work with you. Funny enough, actually, he's just leaving tomorrow, but he came 3 weeks ago from Kentucky. He was a client of mine who worked with me during this past 3 weeks. He was in the States. He had to be up here for some stuff with regards to his kid. And so he was like, I want to see if I can jump in a few sessions. I'm 6'5". I'm about 220 pounds. I've had some struggles with the big lifts, a couple of joint issues as well. I've been following your Tall Guy Tuesday stuff for a long time. I'd really like to try to get some sessions in. So that sort of thing does happen fairly often as far as clients who do reach out cold turkey like that. Now, of
Yeah.
course, for me and for anybody, for you, I'm sure as well, we know that the most effective and the most frequent way that we're going to get clients is by way of word of mouth and referrals, right? So clients tell other clients and clients tell other people and so on. And then all of a sudden you're working with somebody's whole family when you just started with just the wife, for example, at the beginning. So like that's the way that it usually goes. But yeah, with the cold turkey calls and stuff like that, where I just get an email out of the blue, I would say a good, 30 to 40% of the time, it's somebody who's like, I've struggled with my anthropometry, my leverages, and so on. I'm a long guy, or I'm a big dude as well, something along those lines. And or it could be a woman who's like, I watch your Tall Guy Tuesday stuff. I'm a woman who's only 5'9", but I have the reach of somebody who's 6'3", or something like that. So it's like, yeah, you definitely fit into these categories too. Absolutely. So yeah, I have a lot of people who are in that sort of situation, and it's really good because you're working with somebody who's living that problem themselves, right? And you're working with somebody who's been injured, who's gone through surgeries as well, who's been sidelined. Like I'm all that stuff, right? And who's 6'4" himself with a 6'8" wingspan and all that stuff. So yeah, it's a niche, and now who's got the book too, right? So it's a niche of the trainee industry, or I guess the clientele, the client base, that there's not too much literature on, and there's not too much information that specifically speaks to them. So I'm happy to be putting that sort of content out there. And with the book being co-authored by Melody Schoenfeld as well, who's 5 feet tall, yeah, and who's
It's
130 pounds.
perfect.
Yeah, it's a nice little juxtaposition there. And there's a lot of content for everybody type in there. So yeah, that's been a real good thing to just have out there as a little bit more information, a little bit more directed content for the individuals who are looking for that kind of info.